Tommy Dingle is very good at pleasing a partner.
Ooh.
Anyway, we're gonna not start there. We're gonna start with the
Damn it.
much
Lord above.
the much more exciting and life-threatening situation going on with the woods outside of town. So we start the episode. We have the last time on that just played, and we start the episode with this massive wolf. And it's sort of framed by, we have the wolf facing the camera, and then we have the silhouette of both Bella and Hannah kind of looking a little frozen with the wolf in between them. And I would like to start potentially with just rolls straight out the gate, I think. Because Hannah, I didn't ask you to do this last time, but there is a roll to run away.
Yes.
Which is what I assume you're trying to do.
I believe, yes, please.
So when you run away, you roll with volatile.
Oh, good. That's my bestest of the traits.
Yeah, good.
The bestest trait of all traits. So let's just see how this goes.
It's
and
a fail. It's a no.
Okay, well, mark experience.
That's good.
First and foremost. Okay, so, I get to put you into a hard situation. So what is it that you're doing? Are you just straight up turning and running, or?
Yeah, I think I'd do like those like couple of steps backwards before you just like sprinting the opposite direction.
Okay, so what happens is you're obviously in shock a bit because you just saw this massive wolf and it's fucking terrifying. And you lose track of what the scenery was around you. And as you like are taking a few steps back, you trip over the shovel that you and Bella had been using to try and dig and look for where the rest of the body might have been. So Bella, you perhaps a little bit more with your shit together because you had seen in your vision that there was a wolf here. You see Hannah like trip and fall and know that like you have to do something because this giant creature is like looking towards the weaker, like its eyes go towards the weaker of the quote unquote prey in front of it. So what do you do?
I think I mean, obviously, if I see Hannah fall, I try to go run and like grab her arm and pull her back up so that we can get back to the car.
Okay, so I guess this is kind of like you're trying to help.
Yeah.
So I think that there's probably a role that you can use. Do you have any strings on Hannah?
Let me check here.
I think you do, right? Because you're like obsessed.
I think
with
so.
this
I
one.
think I have one.
I have string on Marissa +1 and on Harley.
You don't have one on Hannah? I thought you did because
I think that Hannah got strings on
Bella
potentially.
I have like two. I have two on Bella, and I think I've already used one.
okay.
So
let me check
Imagine
because I
playing
know that
people like that.
you were watching Hannah. You gained 2 strings on Hannah because you spent weeks watching her from a distance. Did you not write that down?
I guess not.
Because I feel like you definitely haven't used those.
2
I don't
strings.
think you have.
So can I use?
So you can use them to try and like help her. It's sort of like an aid or interfere role, and I'm not exactly sure what Monsterhearts does for this. I was trying to look for like aid or interfere, but I believe it's just like you're pulling a string on her and adding 1 to her roll, basically. So you're trying to help. It's sort of like the add 1 to a roll against them, but you're adding 1 to her roll to try and just like help her.
Okay.
Most Apocalypse World systems have an aid or interfere, but I can't for some reason find it here. So if you wanted to, you could roll to help her out. So you're gonna roll 2d6 plus that string on her.
2d6 plus that string.
Yeah, +1.
Okay.
I'm like, where is the like aid or interfere? That's a pretty classic. I feel like it's the strings move. I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. So it's just roll 2d6?
2d6 plus 1.
Okay.
/R 2d6 plus 1.
Got it.
And it should roll. So you got a 7. So what that is that you can give her the plus 1. So then Hannah, instead of getting a 6 to fail, like you act as though you got a 7.
Okay.
But it also puts Bella in harm's way. Like by helping you, she is kind of putting herself in the way. So on a 7 to a 9, because you now it is it's effectively a 7 to 9 because she helped and gave you that plus 1. You get away, but you choose one. You run into something worse, you cause a big scene, or you leave something behind.
Well, I feel like a big scene in the middle of a forest with no one there is not going to benefit me.
I think you're already in a big scene, honestly.
Yeah. I don't necessarily want something worse than a gigantic wolf, so I guess I'm leaving something.
Okay. So what you're leaving behind is Bella. She pushes you out. She like pushes you out of the way. Like her helping move is to get you out of the way of the shovel, which she sees on the ground probably a little bit more clearly than you. Her night vision might be a little better because of what she is. And she pushes you out of the way, but because she did that, she is now directly in the wolf's line of sight.
She
like,
did just
vision.
save you, by the way. Just a heads up.
Yeah, no, I know. I was like, I
gonna
was
leave me
thinking,
behind
leave
and
the
steal
shovel
my car
behind.
next?
I was like, I guess we'll leave the shovel or the
Oh my
torch
God.
or something.
You think
but
Bluejay would do that? You think Bluejay would let you have that?
it
Come
would be
on.
nice early, like 20 minutes in. It's
No. We're going hard straight out the gate.
Okay.
So you like with the momentum of Bella's like push, you kind of like rocket off, and before you know it, you are farther away from her than perhaps you intended to be.
Yeah,
And
okay.
because it's dark in the woods, like the sun hasn't really gone down, but these are very dense woods. And the sun is already in the fall, like very like closer to the horizon than it ordinarily would be. So it's very dark and you get like lost, basically, because you just go like as fast as you can in whatever direction you can.
Okay.
And Bella, I would like you to roll with volatile as well, because this wolf is just like coming at you.
All right.
So we'll see how well you can handle.
What the hell? That's like my best number too.
Okay, so mark the fail, mark the
Oh.
experience for the fail. She rolled with. So what happens is that the wolf comes up on you, and is your instinct to run away, or is your instinct to try and like turn and fight it and give Hannah some more time to get out of here? Like, what's your?
I think I try to turn and fight it or something.
Okay, so here's your option.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to either take harm here, and it's a wolf bite, so it will be a fair bit of harm, or turn into your darkest self. Which for the werewolf is a werewolf.
Let's do it. Let's just darkest self time, baby.
Yeah.
It's time.
All right. So do you have on your sheet, will you read what your darkest self is?
You transform into a terrifying wolf creature. You crave power and dominance, and those are earned through bloodshed. If anyone attempts to stand in your way, they must be brought down and made to bleed. You escape your darkest self when you wound someone you really care about, or the sun rises, whichever happens first.
Oh, no.
Okay. So can you describe to me, have you ever wolfed out before? Has Bella ever wolfed out before?
No.
So
this is the first time.
This is the first time you ever turn into a wolf. Can you describe to me like what this process is like? Is it the like you break every bone in your body sort of thing and it's very painful? Is it more like anamorphs? Like what is it like?
I think it's like anamorphy, and like I don't want my clothes to rip off or anything.
Okay.
You know, like I just assume that the clothes is undamaged. And
So are you a more
maybe I know it's coming and then I get naked or something?
So do you have the time? Is it something that takes a bit of time then?
Yeah, maybe a couple minutes, and I could feel it coming beforehand.
And is it like, do you turn into something more like a wolf or more like a wolf man, or like what does your wolf form look like?
I would say pretty scary. Pretty werewolfy, think Twilight shitty CGI werewolves, like one of those bad boys.
Okay, so you're like on your hind legs, like
yes, yeah,
huge,
and I'm like big, yeah, I'm like a big bitch.
So the wolf goes for you, and you, Bella, like turn toward it. You're not gonna back down. You turn toward it, and as the camera like shows you turning away from Hannah and toward the wolf, your eyes like change first. Your eyes are the first things to change, and the wolf sees that. And because of that, it like backs off and gives you the time to like go through this change without just like, I don't know, tearing your arm off or whatever. Like it recognizes what you are and it runs in the opposite direction. And you go through this change where you're like, oh my God, what's happening to my body? And for some reason, take your clothes off so they don't get ruined.
I did that earlier too. Don't worry about it, Bella. It's fine. It happens.
Hannah, can you go ahead and roll for me just like one more time? Can you roll? I think that this is keep your cool. Can you roll cold?
My other great stat. Good times.
You're trying to get back to the street or the car. Yes?
I remember like the last episode or something, you said when I turned to a wolf, because I picked Hannah as the person that I care or whatever, like I wouldn't hurt her or something, right? That we discussed?
I mean, you on purpose do this so that she can get away, so you're not going to immediately go for her.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Can I just ask out of curiosity? So I had one harm from the first episode. Does that carry over?
Have you done anything to try and heal it?
I think my wrist is bandaged up.
You've been wearing.
No, because I heard it again when we were doing cheerleading.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You did narrate that
I guess it would still be hurt.
It's only been like 2 days.
Technically, yeah.
You did narrate that you went to the nurse and everything, but we didn't do a healing. You have to, let's see, when you take time to tend to your wounds, once per session, you may heal 1 harm. Okay, so you definitely did that. You went to the nurse's office, so you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you can erase.
Right. Ooh, I got an 8.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9. Okay, so the situation is you just ran away from a giant wolf, and you're in the middle of the woods, and because you were running so quickly, you don't exactly know where you are. Can you tell me, let's see, you can ask me a question about the situation and no, that's on a 10 up. Okay, sorry, I'm reading the rules. I get to tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it. Okay, so the keeping your cool is you're trying to get through the forest and back to your car safely, because you've already done the running away part, and with the help of Bella, you were able to successfully get out of there. So like you're out of there, but you're kind of lost in the forest. And with a partial success, I would say that you can make it back to town. But you have 2 options here. Like you kind of put your head on straight and you're like, okay, like what direction is west? Like where is the last remnants of sunset coming from? Like what direction is my house? And you can choose to either go back to the car, like you get your bearings, and you can choose to either go back to the car and go back to where you think like Bella would meet up with you, or you can choose to go back towards town and like try and hoof it like along the road without going back to the car. Recognize that you, Hannah, don't know that Bella just turned into a wolf.
Yeah, I would go to the car because I hoped that I would meet Bella at the car.
Okay. So, Bella, as a wolf, do you have like your instinct here is like you want to, because you're in your darkest self, you want to you crave power and dominance, and those are earned through bloodshed. So do you pursue the wolf? Like, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Or is there anyone else that you think you might want to bleed?
No, I'm gonna go for the wolf.
Okay. So you're not running away. I feel like what happens, Hannah, is you get to the car and like, is the car unlocked? Did you guys lock it? It's like in the middle of nowhere. It's a small town.
I think it's unlocked, probably.
So Hannah, you get to the car and it's unlocked. So maybe you're like, well, there's a wolf out there. So I wouldn't necessarily stand outside the car, but are you sitting in the car or?
Yes, I would sit in the car. I'd probably also search the car for like is there anything in the car that could potentially aid the situation if it got worse?
Right, of course. So Bella, is there anything in your car that that Hannah would find?
That's a good question. Maybe like books in the back of my car that are like kind of weird. But that's it.
Weird how?
Like I don't know, like maybe books that at those like native tales kind of thing.
Right, like you've been researching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe it's because of my anime or because I'm a furry or whatever, but like
for some reason my brain when you said native tales went to Brer Rabbit, and I don't know why. They do like Brer Rabbit books in the back of your car. It's really stupid.
Okay, so you go through Bella's car, Hannah, and you're probably like rummaging fairly quickly, like just trying to you find some big books, and it's like, okay, there's not a weapon in here because she brought the knife with
Makes
you.
sense.
But time passes and Bella's not coming back to the car. And you can hear these like howls outside. Like you can hear the howls of more than one wolf outside of the car. So do you choose to like just stay in the car all night? Are you going to leave or?
Come look for me, damn it.
I know.
Can you drive? You can't drive, right?
I can't drive.
I think try if you wanted.
Oh my god!
Going from what my first actual driving lesson was like, that I don't think trying is a good move. I hate that it's what I would do, but I feel like I would get out and maybe just try staying relatively near the edge of the woods so that I can still see like the end of the tree line or whatever.
Right.
I probably would try yell Bella's name or just like try something.
Okay. Well, Bella, can you roll plus dark for me? And let's just say, because I've said it's dark, you're definitely like basked in moonlight. So you have dark 3 right now.
So when I roll, do I just click the dark little button circle?
Just put it up to 3 right now. It's usually -1. Just put it up to 3 and then roll and then put it back down to -1.
Perfect.
And also because you're unstable, you get experience when you enter your darkest self. So make sure to mark that as well.
Sweet. Okay.
All right. That dark 3 really worked out for you. So
and I get experience, right?
You get experience for the turning into your darkest self. So it's a few minutes of.
Sorry, briefly, just thank you to Brutalist for the 25 euros. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Aww. So you turn into this wolf-like creature, and maybe if you hadn't have rolled as well, you wouldn't have like any idea of how to control yourself in this form. Because you rolled well, your human like intelligent brain kind of carries over with you into your wolf form, and you can recognize what happened to you and that you are now a wolf, and you can remember the things that you were focused on before your transformation. So you know that what you were doing was trying to protect your friend Hannah and go after this wolf. And so once your transformation is over and you're this massive, terrifying wolf creature, you rocket through the woods, going after the scent of this wolf that was present. in the forest, looking at both yourself and Hannah. And the woods like open up to you. You can smell everything. It's absolutely crazy, like how well you can differentiate between one scent and the other. You know now, like following this one wolf scent, that there's more than one wolf in this area. And you can also smell probably like carried over from your interaction this morning, like you can smell the remnants of the body on your, like, you didn't touch it ever, but like you can smell like where it was in the wolves in the woods, and you know that you could go find more of it. Like you can tell that you have this ability, but right now you're in your darkest self, so you're encompassed by the need to get revenge over, like, this wolf needs to like you need to make it bleed for what it was trying to do to Hannah, who you care about. So you like rocket through these woods and come upon this clearing where you would probably like skid to a stop. I don't know how fast you're going, but what's present in front of you is the rest of this wolf pack. And none of them are as big as you are. They're all like they're big. They're actual wolves. Like most people haven't been around wolves. They've only been around like large dogs or like mixes. So they're big, but they're not supernaturally large. And the wolf that was present in front of you and Hannah has also just got here, but there's probably at least a dozen others. And when you get to this clearing, there's definitely like a Pride Rock sort of thing going on where there's like a cave, and it's farther into the woods than you've ever been because there's no roads that lead here. But there's probably like 11 or 12 other wolves here, and all of them are looking at you and kind of just like waiting to see what it is you're going to do. So what do you do? Remember,
and I'm bigger than
power.
all of them, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you crave power and dominance right now. That's your darkest self.
I think I would want to, like, I don't know, just give them that look of like, I'm like, maybe like walk around all of them. Like I can kill you all if I want, you know, have like sort of this demeanor or look that I'm in charge. And I just feel so much anger that, you know, because of Hannah, worrying about her. Am I able to communicate to these wolves?
I would say because you rolled so well with dark that you have, like, it's similar to when you saw the wolf before in your vision. You can like understand how you would get across to them like basic ideas. They, from what you can tell, because you rolled so well, they are not supernatural. They are just wolves. So they don't understand, like, I would like you to do, they're not understanding of language, but as a wolf creature yourself, you have this basic primal understanding of like how to assert dominance.
Gotcha.
And, like, make yourself known, you know?
I think the one that like scared Hannah, like I would go up to that one specifically, and like with one of my big wolf hands, I would try to like pick it up by the neck and kind of like throw him, you know, but that's it. And then just walk away, you know, just to send a message of like, don't fuck with me.
Okay. Can you roll with volatile?
Yeah.
All right. A 10 plus, looking great. So you do exactly what you wanted to. You have, as a werewolf, you have a wolf hand that still has like a opposable thumb. So you like grab this wolf by the scruff of its neck and maybe like throw it against a tree. And there's the like high pitched like squeaking noise of the like, ow, that hurt, from the wolf. And it lands on the ground and is looking like it has its shoulders like curled over on itself and its tail like tucked up under by its stomach. And it lands on the ground, and then maybe you like walk over to it and it rolls and shows you its stomach, like its belly, and then and its sensitive neck, and it's basically telling you like, okay, like, I'm sorry, you're alpha, like whatever you want, I give you, it's giving you its neck. So if you wanted, you could like assert your dominance by like killing this creature. That's the way it's being submissive to you right now, but you don't necessarily have to.
I don't kill it. I don't
Okay.
kill it. I sent my message, you know.
Right.
Might want him in my wolf pack later, so gotta keep him alive.
Oh god.
Gaining that experience
I'm so
points.
stressed.
I'm getting there.
I was
I'm
just
getting there with
cute
the
wolf,
experience.
Don't hurt cute wolf. I was like, in my pack, in my future episode.
No.
I might want a wolf pack later. Nice. So is there anything else, like, do you want to like do anything else here? Like, these are wolves. You've never encountered other wolves. You've never been a wolf yourself. Like, this is your darkest self, but like we said before, you transformed into this wolf creature in order to protect Hannah. So I won't be like, and then you kill Hannah. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that mean.
Thank you.
But you do have the opportunity to, I don't know, like make connections or like do cool wolf things or like go back to town and kill Harley or like whatever you want.
Or don't. You know, either's fine, to be honest with you. Thanks a lot. Whatever.
Is there a way that I just want Hannah to see me as a wolf for like a second so she knows that like I just want her to see me and like transform back.
Mom, look at my cool wolf.
I would say like you can't willingly transform back until the sun rises or until someone is brought down and made to bleed, like when you wound someone you really care about. So I would say that if you wanted to, we could narrate like, and like at dawn you go to Hannah's house and like, you know, like scratch at her window or whatever, and then
That's some creepy shit. I don't know.
show her then.
And like one little wolfy fingernail on the window.
Just traumatizing me. I've
That's
lost
so
you in the woods and you just
scary.
come on my to my window. Like,
Like, you could show her when you're transforming back when the sun rises, but you
Got
aren't
it.
able to like get out of this unless you hurt someone you really care about. So like I will tell you that if you wish to, you could do that, but I'm not going to make you do that because
I'm gonna wait till sunrise. I'm not ready to harm my family and friends.
Not quite there yet.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so
Is
Hannah,
Kannick just gonna like sleep in my car overnight? Like that?
Yeah, literally. I don't know.
so
I think
here's
I
what
have
happens,
to.
Hannah. You're at the edge of the woods, and you hear the sounds of the wolves in the woods kind of get farther and farther from you as you're very carefully keeping the road like on your left or right or wherever. You're keeping it in sight, and you can hear that the sounds of these creatures are getting farther away, and Bella has not come out of the woods. And even if you do, like, if you wanted to go back to where you and Bella were, like, you could try to, but like she's not there either. So do you want to go back to the car? Like, do you try and get back into town? Like, are you gonna leave her? Are you gonna stay?
Honestly, I would probably just be camping out in the car, terrified. Because, like, I wouldn't be brave enough to walk all the way back to town, I don't think. I don't know
Okay.
how far it is, but
So you're in the car maybe, or like maybe pulling right back up to the car, like from the woods, like coming up out of the woods into the car. And there is another car, like a truck right behind it on the road with the lights on.
oh,
It is the
Okay.
90s, so don't forget we're a little bit stupider.
that's true, I
Yeah.
guess. Okay. Then I guess I'm gonna continue
Like
I'm
towards
g-
the car, or are you gonna
Yep.
like be like, no? Okay. So you move towards the car, and there's someone who's like looking in the window, and when they see like the movement of you coming out of the woods, they turn, and it's Mr. Thorpe.
Oh, okay. Mrs.
Oh.
Thorpe?
I was just, hi, Hannah. Is this your car?
No, it's Bella's. Bella Hawthorne. She's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you break down? Do you?
Well, it's a basically it's a long story, but we're here and Bella's in the woods somewhere and I lost her and there was a huge wolf, like huge, massive wolf, crazy wolf. And I'm really worried that Bella's hurt and I just came back to the car and I'm really, really stressed that I've left her and she's hurt.
Whoa. Calm down. Like, take a deep breath. Like,
okay. Yeah.
So
okay, but
you're saying there's wolves?
Yeah, there was like a huge wolf, a massive wolf, and then I tried to run away, and then I think Bella like stayed there to try and like keep the wolf off me, and now I'm really, really worried that she's hurt.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're safe, but God, there's a student in the woods. Okay. Let me take you to safety, and then we'll get we can contact the police department maybe and get some people to do a search, people who have weapons who won't get
we didn't have anything. Well, she had a knife, I think, but
still, it's not safe to, I mean, it's getting darker, it's not safe to go out there by themselves. Will you come with me to a safe place?
I think I have to. Yeah.
And so he like reaches his hand out to you. Do you take it?
Yeah.
Okay. Will you roll plus dark, please?
Oh, no. I failed.
Okay. Well, mark experience.
Oh, good.
And when your hand touches Mr. Thorpe's hand, you pass out. And we'll get back to you later.
I'm scared.
We have another person who's in their darkest self. So let's go see what's up with Harley and Tom right now.
Feeling fine.
Oh yeah. Everything just great.
It's great.
So when we left Harley, Tom had just closed the door on the photo lab, and you found yourself in your darkest self. You suddenly feel like everyone you know is like, they're all idiots. No one has ever truly loved you. Their loyalty has been tested over and over again, and they've always failed you. Brad has failed you. Emma's failed you. Cordelia, who didn't stop either of them, has failed you. Where are you going? You need to make an example out of these people. That's the overriding feeling that you're getting.
Okay. I'm going outside of the school because I want to try and call Emma or Cordelia.
Okay. So we know, the audience knows that you're in your darkest self. Is there any kind of physical signifier that Harley is in her darkest self right now?
I don't think so. I think it's just there's a very restrained violence to her energy as she's walking and everything, and she's just very as she walks down the halls, it's a straight shot. There's no hesitation at all in any movements that she does at all.
Okay. So you are power walking through the school, and you get to the front of the school where the giant bronze statue of a hedgehog is. And it's we've got a little bit of a time jump going on. So it's maybe 4 or 5 p.m. The sun is low in the sky. And it's a little bit later out on the road in our previous scene, but now we've kind of taken a step back in time. And sitting in front of the school, still waiting to be picked up, is Brandon, and your two cheerleader, Cordelia and Emma, would have been waiting for you, knowing that they can't leave until you've had cheerleader powwow time. Right. Is Marissa also there? Because I know that you had said that you were having a meetup at noon the next day, but is this
Marissa's there. I want to have my whole gang with me, so okay. Marissa's there.
So Marissa is also here. Is Brad here, or is he at like football practice?
Brad's not there. Brad's at football practice or something. He's not there.
Okay, so it's Brandon sitting like very like carefully away from the group, and like Tom, like you, how do you usually get to and from school, Tom?
Oh, I forgot.
Isn't it the bus that you get?
I think I just hop on the bus.
Yeah.
I'll probably be
So-
hanging by the bus stop, just waiting.
With your situation with Harley before, you missed the first bus. So you're waiting for you missed the school bus. So you're waiting at like the public bus stop, which is just like a little bit away. But you can definitely like see like it's not a very large campus. There's not a ton of kids in this town. So you're still like in range to if you wanted to interact with anything in the scene. So Harley, you come out here and like this is the like scene. You've got Tom sitting a little bit away at a bus stop. You have Brandon like sitting in front of the school waiting to be picked up, and then you have your gang who are all dressed in their cheerleading uniforms, looking incredibly like put together, and like even Marissa, who before was the messiest person, they're ready to go. Like maybe they were practicing right before this when you were doing something else.
I don't know. I was busy. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna walk up to Cordelia and Emma and Marissa and that, I guess, and just sort of like click at them and gesture for them to come with me, and I'm gonna walk over to Brandon.
Okay, so your fuck shit up attitude is very apparent to Emma and Cordelia, who are very used to you. But I think Marissa is more like, okay, like we're doing cool things. Like
Where are we going? Cool.
Yeah, she's like, oh, okay, like yeah, let's go over here. And so she plops down on the bench next to Brandon, and she's just like twirling her hair or something. And she's like, so do we have more practice today? Me and Emma and Cordelia already practiced for tomorrow at lunch. I made sure not to miss it this time.
Marissa, tell Brandon why he should drop out of trying to be homecoming king.
Brandon, you shouldn't be homecoming king because you're lame. And Brandon like looks over at her and looks over at you, and it's like, no one's gonna vote for me anyway. I don't know why you've got this stick in your craw or whatever.
What if they do vote for you, though? What if they're trying to make it a whole carry thing? What if everyone's going to laugh at you? You should really drop out of trying to be homecoming king.
I already told you. I already tried. If you just, like, leave me alone. And he's, like, putting on his headphones, like, to attempt to just, like, ignore you.
Okay, how about don't go to homecoming?
And like he's very like he has his headphones on and you can hear the music. Like he's attempting to just like ignore you.
I rip his headphones off.
What what?
How about you don't go to homecoming?
How about you don't go to homecoming?
Well, I have to go to homecoming because I'm probably going to be homecoming queen. It's a whole thing. But, you know, you don't matter, so you shouldn't go to homecoming, I don't think. You don't want to go anyway. No one's going to go with you. No one will notice if you're not there.
Why do you care even?
I'm just... You know what?
Like, okay. Homecoming was really important to Taylor, so I'm going. And that's the only reason. But I'm not just going to give up on doing this thing because you don't want me to.
That's fair. No, that's okay. If it's really important to your brother, I'm sure he'll notice if you go, right, Brandon? I'm sure Taylor's going to know if you go to homecoming or not, right?
And you can see, like, I mean, he's already pale most of the time, but you can see, like, the blood drain out of his face. And I think he, like, stands up. And you can see, like, a truck, like, pulling into the parking lot on the other side. And he stands up and he, like, walks, like, goes to walk away from you.
I will allow it, I suppose. I'm going to, like, turn to, like, Amber and Cordelia and, like, give him a little look of displeasure. And it's kind of that thing where, like, I give them a look and I expect for them to, like, do something in response, like, for me, just read my fucking mind.
Okay, so you who you just yanked the headphones off this guy, and he goes to walk away, and you give Emma and Cordelia a look, and they both like step in front of him and like push him back.
Oh,
toward you.
fun. Okay, cool. It's getting physical. Okay, cool. Brandon, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a really big favor? Can you just either don't go to homecoming, or I'll make sure you can't go to homecoming. How about that?
And he looks kind of scared. And Tom, like you can see that like this is happening, although you can't really hear what specifically is going on. But you saw like Brandon got up and tried to walk away, and then all of a sudden Emma and Cordelia like pushed him back. And because you have the condition one of them,
Oh.
you don't like your instinct is not like, oh no, Harley's being a piece of shit. Your instinct is like, oh, like he must be doing something that Harley doesn't like. Like you are like, your first reaction is like, he must be being a shit to Harley and not the other way around.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start coming over there. I'm walking over there.
I'm coming over. I see Tom walking over, and I immediately like, I don't like move at all or anything, or like adjust my behavior in the slightest. I just stare really immediately at Brandon.
So Marissa, she's sitting still, like she's not standing up, and she's watching this happen. Like she's looking from you, Harley, to Brandon and back. And maybe a week ago, her instinct would have been like, I'm friends with Brandon. We go to the arcade all the time. Like I would be on his side, but like it's very clear, like from the look on her face, that now she's very like decidedly on Harley's side. Brandon is like a shit kid, and he's never gonna be homecoming king anyway. So like, why isn't he just listening to Harley? And Brandon's standing there with like Cordelia is like pretty muscly, and Emma's like she's not as muscly, but she could still lift someone over her head, like cheerleader style, you know, like do the base move. So she's not weak. And he like looks at both of you, and he's just like, Jesus, it's no wonder Brittany left school after she dropped out of the cheerleading squad. You guys are creepy.
Cordelia, could you do me a favor?
And Cordelia like nods at you.
Could you just do for Brandon what we did for Hannah last year? Could you do that for me? Is that all right?
And Cordelia, like, she goes to grab Brandon's wrist, and you all hear the sound of like a car revving, and Cordelia and Emma both like turn distracted as you, Harley, see Brandon's sister's car.
Ah, crap.
Coming straight at you. And because...
Sorry, like trying to run me over with her car?
Yes. Because you had... Marissa was sitting on the bench, and you and Brandon got up and walked a little bit forward. Emma, Cordelia, and Brandon and Marissa are all standing enough to the side that this car is coming just for you. So I would like you to roll for me. You have to roll volatile to try and run away.
Alrighty. All right. Let me get us off the glitchy scene onto the nice scene. All right. Let's a partial succeed.
Okay. So with a partial success for running away, you can get away, but you choose one. You run into something worse, you cause a big scene, or you leave something behind.
I'm going to say I cause a big scene.
Okay. So I'm going to take the reins for a second, and I hope that you'll allow me this. Harley, you see this coming at you, and in your darkest self, the most important person to you, of course, is yourself. So your first reaction is like, I'm just going to get the fuck out of the way, and I don't care. You run just like out of the way of the car, and you're not really looking at where you're going. But where you're going is towards the bus stop and towards where Tom was just walking towards you. And the car, it follows your, like, it's going fairly quickly. So she tries to course adjust. It's Brittany with her shaved head in the front of the car looking like fucking vicious. She tries to course adjust, but you are too fast. You get out of the way.
Oh no.
And hits Tom instead. So, Tom, I would like you to take some harm, a lot of harm.
Oh! Where is that tracked anywhere on my sheet, or is that just a thing?
You have 4 harm, so it's under lover.
Oh no. Okay, I'll just
How much harm is he taking?
How much?
He's taking all of it. A car's a
Oh,
lot.
you scared death! Oh my god!
I'm scared by a car.
So, Tom, you have options.
Oh.
I'm giving you have options when you skirt death.
Okay.
So, you can choose to die.
Okay.
You can choose to become your darkest self, or you can choose to lose all the strings you have on everybody.
I think, just for the drama of it all, I think I'm gonna have to die here.
What?
Wait, what?
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.
So, Harley,
Yeah.
you dart away. This car, you hear it hit something, and then the brakes just squeal, and then it hits something again. And when you turn around and open your eyes, you see the body of Tommy Dingle smashed between the front bumper of this car and the massive bronze hedgehog at the front of the school.
I just let out a blood-curdling scream and run over to him to check if he's alive. Just gonna have a look.
So, I feel like you get over to the car, and right now the airbag is in front of the driver's seat, so you can't really see Brittany in the seat to know if she's okay. But Tom is definitely crushed, and he's leaning against the front of the car, and his face is like as white as you've ever seen a person's face. And like, I don't know if you touch his neck to see if he has a pulse.
Yeah, I think I was like grab like both sides of his neck with my hands and try and like shake his head a little bit.
He's like a rag doll. There's no pulse.
Okay. So like with my I imagine that I'm having that thing where it's like your ears are ringing and there's a vignette around your fucking vision and you're like paling, and I'm just gonna like almost on like Roblox, my brain has a process like Tom is gone. You're never gonna like be with Tom again. Tom's gone. And I'm gonna walk over to the car and I'm gonna open the door and I'm gonna see how Brittany's doing. How's Brittany doing?
Cars are built to protect the people inside of them. She is bleeding from like her forehead, and maybe she's got a broken arm. She has you haven't seen her since she quit the cheerleading squad and like ditched school forever. But like she shaved her head, and not well, like parts of it are shorter than other parts of it, and she has like a bloody gash on one side of her face, and she still has the seatbelt on, but you can tell that like it might have broken her collarbone. Like she's looking tore up, but she's definitely not dead.
Is the airbag like ejected on the
Both sides of the airbag are ejected, but now it's like slowly like releasing the air, and she's probably just like moaning a little bit. Like she's not super conscious, but she's like alive.
Can I grab the back of her head and smash it into the dashboard?
Yes, you can.
I would like to do that.
I would like you to roll volatile.
You got it. Anything for you. I failed.
Okay. So mark experience. Yeah. When you fail on lash out physically. So what happens is like you grab the back of her head and she's unconscious, so you can do it, like you do it, but it just wakes her up. Like you don't do it hard enough, like maybe you're just not strong enough, or you're like still shaken up over Tommy, so you don't like, use her full force. So she like wakes up and she turns to you and she's like, you bitch.
Hey, look what you did. Look what you did. And I'm like point through the windscreen at the dead Tom, I guess.
And she doesn't even look. She's struggling with her seatbelt now, and she's trying to like get out of the car and like get out of your like reach.
I will just let her, I suppose. And I'm gonna go back over to Tom, who's dead, and I'm gonna try and fail to push a car off of his body. But I'll fail because it's a car.
I mean, you have Emma and Cordelia and Marissa, who are kind of, you see them and Brandon all kind of just standing off to the side, like looking shocked. And I think Marissa has her phone open and she's looking like, oh my God. And she's definitely like, you can tell the face of like, I am calling 911, like.
Okay, I'll call over Cordelia and Emma and ask them to come over, please.
Okay, they do.
Also, I'm pretty sure I'm still in my darkest self chat
Yes.
things, and I'm not because
you
I
escape your darkest self when you relinquish part of your power to someone more deserving, or when you destroy an innocent person in order to prove your might.
Yeah, like I have to destroy the innocent person, not
Brittany.
Random lady with a car.
Not chat donating enough money to destroy an innocent person.
Can I so Brittany's still trying to get out of the car, kind of. Can I like get Cordelia to like drag Brittany out of the car and so like pin her against the car?
Yes. So Cordelia, who is, she's your muscle. She like grabs the seatbelt and like yanks it, and finally gets the seatbelt to release, and like Brittany kind of like collapses a little bit into her, and then like Cordelia uses that momentum to like push her up against the car and restrain her, and she like Brittany like yells because she's broken her collarbone and like maybe an arm, but Cordelia definitely has control of her.
Okay, I'm gonna have Cordelia sort of drag Brittany over to Tom, and I'm imagining it as Cordelia sort of like holding Brittany's head in place to make her just stare at the corpse of Tom, and I was being like, hey, look at it, how's it feel? How's it feel to kill somebody, Brittany? Does it feel good? How's it feel?
And Brittany, who had like, there'd been like a cracked window, like windshield, there'd been a massive like the big de-inflating balloon of the airbag in front of her. So like when Cordelia drags her over to see Tom's body, like you see her face go white. It had been like red before when she was like aiming her car at you with like anger and absolute madness, but it goes completely white, like even more than like it was already fairly white because of her like head trauma. And she looks at Tom and she's like, oh no.
What do you feel, Brittany? God. What are you feeling?
I didn't even, it was for you. You were the one that was supposed to. And she starts hyperventilating.
Oh, jeez. I don't even know what to do now. My brain is fried. Tom's dead. Jesus Christ. I don't even know what to do. I'm just gonna I'm gonna try and get Tom out from under the car, I guess.
So I would say that here's like out of character. When you destroy an innocent person in order to prove your might, so Brittany's not innocent necessarily, but if you like, she fully felt, for reasons we will not go into at this moment, she fully felt that she was justified in trying to like rid the world of you. And so when she hit someone else on accident, like if you turn her from like justified rage into more like I am a murderer, I would say that's destroying an innocent person.
Oh, hot. Okay, I'll take that. Do I have to do anything more to her, or am I good?
I would really love as the GM to see you like really just dig it in. Like I want her to be like feeling like she's
Okay.
worse than you. So like
Okay.
I would love a little
twist the knife
more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess with Cordelia, I would like to sort of I'm gonna have my hands on Brittany as well, like pretending almost that I'm pushing her too, but I'm not really because I'm like the weaker one. And I'm just gonna get like really close to her ear and be like, "Hey, this was Tom. This is Tommy Dingle. He was new. He's from a farm. He's only been here for a couple of days. He was really looking forward to being homecoming king. He had a crush on a girl named Emily. He had the sweetest little heart. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He was so innocent and so helpful. And he's dead. And he has 2 parents who love him, who are never going to see him again. He's never going to go to university. He's never going to go to homecoming. I'm never going to see him again. But you don't care about that, do you? You didn't care. You didn't think." And I'm just going to keep pressing her towards the corpse face, I guess.
And you get the like she's just like and she's just like sobbing at you, and like you could see that you've like absolutely broken this person. And then like Cordelia just like drops her and she just lets herself completely fall to her knees, like, and is just like limp and sobbing in front of the dead body of Tommy Dingle. And then the ambulance and the police cars like pull up in front of the school, and you get the scene that is like Tommy crushed in the car. You have the lights like red and blue like flickering. You have like everyone's face like super pale and bloody.
Can I say one thing to Brittany before we leave the scene?
Yeah,
I guess?
absolutely.
I just want to crash down her really quick and like look in her eyes and be like, "Hey, Brittany, hey, look at me for a second. Yeah, look at me.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, whatever killed Taylor didn't regret it at all as much as you regret killing Tom." And I'm just going to stand up and mosey on over to the ambulance. "Oh no, there's been a car accident. How unfortunate. Oh dear."
So we have the montage of the like firefighters like using jaws of life to like release the car from Tommy's body and this bronze sculpture. We see the body just like drop, and they load it up on the ambulance with the plastic bag like over his head. It's the scene where they know that he's not savable, and they load him up onto the ambulance. Marissa and Emma and Cordelia are all kind of being interviewed by the police, and all of them are just saying like, "I have no idea what happened. Like she just like went, like she lost control. It just all of a sudden there was a car there." And Brandon is like by his sister, who has her like, I don't think that they would put her arms behind her back if her collarbone is broken and her arm is broken, but there's a police officer like right next to her, and the paramedic is like looking after her, and she's getting loaded onto the same ambulance that Tommy's body is getting loaded onto.
Nice, cool.
And she looks broken. Like she is absolutely in shock. They have the aluminum blanket over her shoulders, and I guess like she's got one wrist, the non-broken wrist has the handcuffs attached to the actual ambulance, but like other than that she's not gonna try to escape anyway. She looked completely like devoid of life or feeling. And they close the doors onto the ambulance and it drives away, and we have the scene of Brandon like standing there looking like totally in shock with the car behind him and like red and blue lights like flashing on his face. And I think that's where we're gonna kind of like close this scene and leave this scene is Tommy's in the ambulance, Brittany's in the ambulance, Brandon, Cordelia, Emma, and Marissa are all kind of just like standing around in like the semicircle. And then like we have this semicircle and then you in front, and the focus of the scene shifts from this semicircle of teens to Harley's face like in front of it, and you might have like a little bit of blood in your hair, maybe from being as close as you were to Tommy. And then the scene just like fades to black. And I know it's a little bit early, but I think that's where we're going to take our break before we go any further with the other two scenes. So
sounds good. I'll put us on break. See you all in 10 minutes. Boom. We're back. I guess I'm just going to have to put some text over where Tom was just to be like, not here, dead.
Not here.
Dead.
Tom's not available right now.
Not with us presently.
Okay. Did you have anything you wanted to do as a wolf, Bella, or are you kind of just like chilling?
I'm chilling.
Okay.
I love
well
how
then,
Bella's a wolf and she's like the best one out of all of us right
Yeah,
now.
Bella's doing great. I just watched. Sorry, did I
Doing
just
great.
experience like love for the first time, and then he was brutally murdered in front of my eyes because of me? Or was that what? Oh damn, that's crazy. That's what happened.
What are you talking about? Weird. It's fine. Nothing weird happened. Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
So let's go with Hannah then. I'm super excited for this part. So, Hannah,
Yes.
you last thing you remember is you grabbed Mr. Thorpe's hand and then just passed the fuck out. You wake up, and can you just really quick describe to me you at one point, you don't remember this, but like as soon as you wake up, the memory comes rushing back of the fairy court. What is it like?
Okay.
Why do you want
It's probably very like lavish and ethereal in a way, and a lot of like neutral and metal tones. So like it's very like there's like golden accents on everything, and it's just very over the top in like every way possible. Like I haven't seen Labyrinth, but I'm pretty sure it's like Labyrinth with the just wildness of it all.
So you wake up and you're lying back on this like cream colored chaise, and it's like very like the wood is carved and painted gold, and as you open your eyes you're looking straight up at this like incredibly elaborate chandelier whatever, that's just dripping with gems. And like you look up and you hear Mr. Thorpe say like, careful, you might be a little lightheaded. And like you look up at him and he's Mr. Thorpe. Like he still looks like Mr. Thorpe, but his hair is longer, and it's definitely the transformation where like all of a sudden he's wearing mascara and eyeshadow and like he wasn't before. And he's not wearing the same clothes. Like now he's wearing a very like Jareth and Labyrinth-esque like loose top, like white top. You can tell it's expensive fabric, but it's not super detailed. And like black high-waisted pants. Again, like the fabric you can tell looks very expensive, but as opposed to everything around him, he's not over decorated. And he looks down at you, and he's sitting here, and you're just in this place, and you can remember being here before. Do I take you to a safe place?
Where am I? I know. Wait.
You know. Call me Oliver.
All right, mate. Okay.
Oliver, is
it
this
wasn't safe in the woods? She's too fast.
And you took me here.
Yes.
And like in my head, I'm kind of piecing the bits together and just kind of being like, is this why the other day like a string? Do you know what I mean by a string and just feeling?
Oh,
it get caught?
So you're already awakening. That's good.
I'm doing what?
Awakening.
From what?
Mortality, perhaps.
I'm doing what? I'm awakening from mortality.
It'll be more clear as time goes on, I hope, but it's nothing to worry about. You're perfectly safe.
Yeah, you say that, but I feel very worried right now. Like, so worried. But
Why?
also because I feel like I've been here before. And
You have. The party? Remember? And all of a sudden, when he says remember, you just do. You remember being at like a drunken teenage party at the old mill. You remember like everyone around you and just kind of like watching them, but not really feeling like you were one of them. I think you were still wearing your cheerleading uniform at the time. And like you feel it sitting on your skin as though it doesn't fit right, even though it's just the perfect size. Like you're standing by a bonfire at this old mill in a place where like you, a teen cheerleader, should be able to fit in just perfectly, and you feel like you don't belong here.
Hey there, everybody. It's me, your favorite character, Tommy. And I'm coming at you because Twitch's highlighting feature kind of broke and we lost a lot of footage. So I'm doing a little bit of a recap for y'all. After the car scene, Mr. Thorpe takes Hannah and teleports her over to the Fey realm, revealing himself as an immortal Fey, as you do. While Hannah and him are in the Fey realm, he explains to her that, maybe we should work together. Hey, maybe we can, rule over everything together. And it's got that creepy tinge of, you could be evil, probably. And also, I'm 18 and you're student. So this is kind of weird and I don't like it. But he does want her to at least lean into her powers a little bit, whether she says yes or no to the whole ruling thing. So Mr. Thorpe gives Hannah a mirror and says that she can use it to view anyone that she wants. And to view people in the mirror, Hannah has to succeed on a dark roll. So later that night, she uses it to view Harley and immediately fails the dark roll. So Bluejay says that Hannah sees whatever Harley wants her to see. And Hannah just sees Harley sleeping at Emma's house. Very casual. Kind of nice. She then tries it out on Mr. Thorpe, but when she tries to view him, he just kind of goes, no, don't do that. And then she tries it out on somebody with a weaker mind, me, and I'm just asleep. And oddly enough, she succeeded her role and got to see me not only asleep, but asleep on a metal bed in a morgue. So that's where we're going to pick up.